Hello, everyone. Welcome to Show Me the Money Club, every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Why am I here by myself? Out of all days, while we have an amazing special guest today, my partner, Chris, decided to go see his accountant. I'm going like, bro, you couldn't find another day to do this? So he's not here, but he'll join shortly. But more importantly, I want to go through real quick of what we're doing today. And let's see if I can. Okay, there we go. So we have our special guest, Jay Cradeur, 32,000 trips, 10 years of driving. He's calling it quits. He's hanging up his driving shoes, but then he's putting some new shoes on from all places, Bangkok, Thailand. We love Jay. He's been an amazing contributor. And, we're going to have a contest about how many articles he has written and how many videos has done since 2018 for the Rideshare guy. So we have rapid fire rideshare today. Uber launching Uber Elite. Lyft would like to hire you. World's most expensive Uber soon to be at LAX. Correct. True. Is Travis TK coming back to Uber? Uber keeps adding AV partners, and Uber's woman-only option goes nationwide. And then our main topics are going to be decline and recline. We made it to Business Insider again. Lyft is kicking drivers off the app. We have video proof of that after 2-3 declines. Another Uber bug turning into an epidemic. It totally is. Should Uber and Lyft drivers' summaries be trusted? Lyft is learning all the bad habits of Uber's algorithm. You guys should see some of the screenshots, so hang out and enjoy it. Is it still possible to earn $3,000 a week driving Uber and Lyft? Well, we know who that is. This is how driver pricing algorithms should work. We have some good screenshots, and you guys will enjoy those. And dangers of accepting trips by just looking at the fare. But before anything else, I want to have Jay Cradeur join me. And here's Jay. Here's the man, the myth, the legend. Jay, how do you say hello in Bangkok?
So you say, actually, you asked me what I'm doing during the day. I'm learning how to speak Thai. So you'd say Sawadi Krap. Or you would say Sawadi Dan Chow, which means good morning. Yeah.
Sawadi Dan
So
Chow.
I've learned how to order some food so far. Okay. I come from America, things like that.
Yeah. Well,
it's difficult for a 66-year-old brain to learn a language. It was much easier for me to learn Spanish when I was in the 4th grade. I'll tell you that.
Well, you're still sharp. But folks, look what Jay is going through here. You guys see the clock in the background there? It says 5:05. That is right. Not 5:05 p.m. That's 5:05 a.m. the next morning in Thailand. But then we're going to go through all this. So if you guys have not seen Jay on YouTube or read his articles on the Rideshare guy, you missed out. You missed out a lot because Jay is the man. And he has helped thousands, I don't know how many thousands of drivers to do this gig better. And finally, he's calling it quits. Jay, why are you calling it quits?
Well, as you and I were speaking before the show, I've dedicated my life to my next kind of career, my final career of day trading. Okay. And I'll tell you honestly, I read a book called Scaling. And in this book, it talks about raising the floor, which means kind of eliminating all the distractions that can get in the way of you achieving what he calls your impossible goal. And I realized I'm spending like a week a month writing these articles and making these videos. And I just realized that's just not me anymore. So, so that's, I let you guys know, we agreed to do 2 more articles and 2 final videos. And that was, I guess those recently came out. And that's it. I just need to focus. I'm a simple man. I can only focus on one thing at a time. And rideshare was my thing for 10 years, for sure. I'm just ready to hang it up. Yeah.
Why out of all places, Thailand, Bangkok? I mean, I know cost of living is ridiculously not cheaper, let's say, but it's better than the US, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's not really the reason. I came here don't know if I ever told you the story. I was trying to write my first book, and I was telling all my buddies about it. You know, I got a lot of male friends, and they said, after like hearing about it for like a year, they said, shut the F up, write it or don't write it. Just, you know, so I said, okay, I'm going to go to Mexico for 6 months. I wasn't married at the time. And I was going to go to Playa del Carmen for 6 months, sit on the beach and write the book. And then I saw an Anthony Bourdain TV program, and it was about Chiang Mai, Thailand. So he immediately became my hero. And I, in that moment, decided to go to Thailand. And that was in 2014. And that changed my life. I was like, what have I been doing for the last 55 years? You know, I've not seen this, you know, and what else haven't I seen? Yeah. And, you know, so I've been to like 30 countries now, and Thailand's my favorite. The people are lovely. The women are lovely. And just the food, the simplicity, you know, just the life is appealed to me. So I came back. I had to come back for a medical reason, and that's when I started the rideshare driving, you know, and then I would take trips back and forth. And then once I got through taking care of my mom, after 5 years of taking care of her with Alzheimer's, it's like, I'm free. I'm going to go where I want to be. Yeah. So that's how I ended up here.
Okay. Well, I think you made the absolute correct decision. So, as I said, no, I do, because my goal is to retire in Spain. So we'll see how.
Oh, yeah.
Goes. Yeah.
Oh, good. Sure. All right.
But okay. So, so as I said, we're going to have a contest. Actually, Jay brought that up when we were talking before the show. We'll oh, we're back. What happened?
There you are.
All right.
Yeah, you froze there for a second.
So yeah, we froze for a second. All right. So StreamYard is StreamYard. So we're gonna have a contest. We're gonna give out some merch, Rideshare Guy merch. If you guys guess how many videos and articles Jay has done for the Rideshare Guy over the last 6-7 years. But
so we're looking for a total number.
Yeah, well, we're going to get as close as we can. We'll pick 3 winners, let's say. You know, we'll send you guys hats or something. So, but I want to touch upon real quickly on your last article that we published on our blog, FYI, www.therideshareguy.com, free newsletter. Please go subscribe. You will learn a lot from folks like Jay and myself. But he wrote an amazing article as his swan song article. So let's hit a couple of the topics there, because I think it's extremely well done. So you guys, please go check out his last article. So rideshare is a tool, not an identity. What do you mean, Jay?
Well, that's kind of what we were just talking about. I had identified as the guy, right? The OG, 10 years, 32,000 miles. And I've been wearing it like an identity, and I needed to treat it like a tool. Maybe I perhaps overstayed my welcome. Rideshare is great for making some money, around your schedule, but it can't be like the main thing you do. Some people can do it. Some people can do it and make, I guess you got someone who makes $3,000 a week, but you're like at the effect of all these things that you have no control over. I mean, like right now, the price of gas.
Yeah.
That would have been a difficult thing to handle, because you can make 3,000, but how much are you giving back in gas or, your electricity bill? And then, we've got, I don't want to be a downer, but I mean, we got self-driving cars. We got more people who are going to be losing their jobs, trying to drive, less people with the economy, less people needing rides. I mean, it's still a game and you can still play it and, squeeze the money out, but you're at the effect of so many things. So my whole point was use it as a tool. It's something you can use, make some money, but while you're doing it, especially while you're in the car, you can be thinking, you can be learning what am I about? What am I going to do? What can I do that I can make the money that I need to make and really have a prosperous life? So that's what I mean. It's a
Yeah,
tool. It's not, don't do what I did, make it your identity. And then,
yeah, but you were able to pivot, which is the most important thing, because a lot of people cannot pivot. So I got to give you credit there. So the second headline in the article is flexibility becomes income security. What do you mean by that?
well, it's kind of another way of saying the same thing, that
Okay.
with this job, the best thing about this job is the flexibility that I could get up at 3 a.m. Well, I'd have to get up at 2 a.m. to be in my car at 3 a.m. and drive, right? That's a time when I wasn't going to be doing anything else. And I could, work my schedule so I could work on the weekends. This is what I was doing when I was taking care of my mom. She's asleep. I could go out, work for 5 hours, make my couple $100 and on the weekends. And that's the most beautiful thing, is the flexibility. Yeah. That's what I always loved about driving, is, you can do it at any time of the day. If you're in a city like San Francisco, you could literally drive at midnight until 6 a.m. and still make pretty good money, yeah, and do whatever you're going to do during the day. So that's what I mean.
Yeah. Well, what you're doing now, we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. But another headline of your article is discipline is the real differentiator. I know you were a very disciplined driver when you drove for 10 years, right? You followed a routine, and I am pretty sure when we talk about your new venture, or not venture, but your new the thing that you're doing, which is day trading, requires a lot of discipline as well, right? Yeah. I mean, for many people, they're used to having a job where somebody kind of told them what to do and when to be where, and if you didn't do a good job, you could get fired. And when you come on as a day trader, as a driver, you are 100% responsible. There's no boss telling you, get out there at 3 a.m. Yeah. So it's an opportunity to learn how to be disciplined, how to do the exact same boring shit day after day. Yeah.
Right. And making it interesting and doing it, being the guy or the woman that shows up. Right. And that's a tremendous opportunity of being a driver. You get to run your own business, and the better you can run it, the more disciplined you can be, the more money you can make.
Yep.
Just the discipline of not accepting every ride. It's real easy to accept every ride and just say, but to say no to, yeah.
You used to accept every ride.
Yes, Sergio. For those of you who don't know, Sergio famously, before he was, Mr. Rideshare guy, he used to just be a commenter for my articles and videos, and he would just say, "Jay's a frickin' ant." He'd call me an ant. I didn't like Sergio in the beginning. He's probably the reason I stopped reading comments on any social media that I do.
Okay.
Because I got, shell shocked there. It's like, oh, someone doesn't like me. Oh, yeah, but I didn't. But in my defense, Sergio, you didn't really need to, because every ride paid the same. It was either 80% or time and distance.
Yeah.
But with every ride being priced differently, I did an analysis several years ago. And there were rides that paid $10 an hour and rides that paid $60 an hour. So obviously there's some value in selecting your rides to make the most money that you can.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, Jay, but we're best friends now. So last but not least, this is very important, folks. Please pay attention.
Here's a new quote. When it gets hard, I get stronger. Yeah.
I like that one. I was going to use when it gets hard. We use something else, but it's okay. That's what she said. But use rideshare to empower the future you. That's the one that you guys should really pay attention to. Pay attention, folks.
Yeah. It's a vehicle, right? It's probably the greatest little vehicle you can have, because all the things we said, it's flexible, you can make good money, plus it's really enjoyable. I'm not ashamed to say this. I was listening to a Miles Davis song that I used to hear in my car in the morning, and I literally started to cry yesterday, because all the feelings of being in the car, watching the sunrise, drinking my coffee, taking someone to the airport. These are memories I'll always have. And it's just, you know, and you're making money, you're doing something, you're out there, you know, you're not in bed sleeping. Yeah. So anyway, so it's fantastic, but it's what you can think about when you're in the car. I mean, I used to be really frustrated when I was in my mid 50s, and I was driving people, you know, dressed in their Xenia suit, you know, this 25-year-old consultant who's flying off to Tokyo, right? And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, what do I want to be doing here?
Yeah.
You know, and it's that pain that can drive you to reimagine your life. And just having a car, or you don't even need a car, they'll give you a car.
Yeah.
You can go. You can drive anywhere in America you want, right? I had a guy, he came out from, I don't know, somewhere on the East Coast. He came out and he lived in California. He said, I want to meet with you. I met with him like 3 or 4 different times. We had chats, and he got a car and he just started driving and living in California. And that was the time when you could crush it.
Yeah.
So yeah, not everyone can relocate, but anything's really possible.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about the past. We talked about your last article and your last video. Please go check it out. It's on the channel and it's on the website. You know, we're not going to be able to hit on everything because Jay is like, you know, the president, and he gave us only 30 minutes. So, but
when I saw your list of
bro,
stuff,
you're up already. I mean, what's the big deal? Just stay up another 10 minutes.
You've got a lot of topics to cover. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I do. Well, now, okay, so that was the past. That was the past. You're done with rideshare. You're taking your shoes off or gloves off, driving gloves, whatever you did. You did well. I know you did well. I know you made decent money, and you used some of that to start this new chapter in life. I wouldn't call it new. I know you well enough to say that, you know, you have been dabbling into this day trading thing for a while, right?
But I didn't really
just like anything.
I didn't really get serious, till
now you're in Bangkok,
yeah,
and now you're very serious about this chapter of your life, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be very successful at it. But you talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, you know, I wanted to do something that would let me travel, so I could do it from a hotel room.
Yep.
And that was not dependent on other people.
Yep.
Right. Like I was a coach during the pandemic. I tried coaching. I created this program, a very expensive program, and I was teaching people how to use Facebook marketing, you know, to market themselves. And you know, it worked. But what didn't work was I couldn't make people learn how to sell. I couldn't make people successful. And I was like, I don't want that feeling, right? Trying so hard and not getting people to be successful. So that's when I said, what can I do where I can not be dependent on other people?
Yeah. And
also what I can scale, you know, that I can scale it easily. And voila, those 3 things come together beautifully in day trading. So you can start with very little money, and it's dependent 100% on you. For most people, I recommend it's not for you. Yep. I mean, when you take a loss, oh my God, last month I took a loss 2 days in a row. I was gutted. I was like, oh my God, you know. And most people would quit. Most people do quit, you know, after a short period of time. So it's not for everybody. You have to have a certain temperament. You have to have a real ability to be bored and to analyze, and you got to be good with a mouse. You know, there's certain skills you need. But if you can figure it out, you know, like it's basically 2.5 hours a day, 4 days a week is my work schedule. Okay. And I'm just getting started. You know, I'm still trading pretty small. You know, you buy and sell what are called contracts, and I'm just doing like four at a time. But you can go up to 400, right? Yep. I mean, so, you know, so say I made $1,200 on Monday with 4 contracts. You know, you can multiply that by saving 10 and do 40 contracts, and that's $12,000. So doing the exact same thing, nothing changes, right? Yep. So it's just a matter of what's going on in my head.
Yeah, I mean, look, one thing that as a 30-plus-year trader myself, we need to preface: most people are not successful at day trading. Most people that I know of, and it's a vast majority. I probably run into 80 to 90%.
No, 96% fail.
96.
That's the,
I was being
yeah.
kind,
If
but
I'm going to write a book, it's going to be called the 4% Club.
4% club. Yeah, I call it
Yeah.
10% club because in swing trading is about 10%. But
It's a little
but
different.
one thing that is very similar and also not similar between rideshare and trading, especially day trading, is the three P's. I mean, I brought actually to the rideshare guy the three P's from my trading days. You have to have patience. You have to learn how to sit on your hands. So you cannot accept every goddamn trip that they throw you. That's one. You have to position yourself correctly, obviously. And then in trading, you have to position size correctly, because a lot of people blow their accounts because they position incorrectly and they take too much risk on. And number three, you have to have a plan. Like Jay wakes up an hour before the markets open. He has a plan and he executes it. After that, it's up to market gods. Nobody knows what the markets are going to do. So he's looking at probabilities and taking the best shot that he can. One thing is very different, Jay, between trading or of any sort of this stuff and rideshare is, in rideshare, we have a glass ceiling. We cannot do more than 3 trips, maybe 4 trips an hour, right? Well, in trading, there's no limit. The sky is the limit, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, there's this guy I follow, and he's in his early 20s, this young African-American man. And I mean, it's all documented, over $100 million in like 3 years. And I follow him on YouTube, and I follow him, and it's remarkable. And now he's trading gold and at size, right? Had a so far a $15 million month this month. And he's not doing anything different, right? It's just the number of zeros is different. But in terms of the setup, looking at the chart, very simple, very basic. So yeah, for me to go from 4 to 40, there's no difference other than that extra zero.
Yeah.
And what goes on in your head, right? Then that's really where the training comes in, and the clarity and the ability to execute under pressure. And that's why it's not for most people, right? Yeah. There was a guy I followed early on who did more what you like to do, the swing trading. And he said, I've seen some things. He said, I've been in some trades that would make you shit your pants. And I didn't really get it, but then I thought about it. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. When you have, you could make 10 million or you could lose 20 million, and maybe you got a drawdown, but you haven't hit your number yet. And you're hoping, I mean, money's a funny thing. It stirs up a lot of old emotions, and everyone's got their feelings about money. Money's the root of all evil, things like that. So but it's purely, it's just this capitalist environment, and it's just dog eat dog and zero sum game.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bangkok, you're in Bangkok. Okay. Food is good. I know it is. Healthcare, I think, is probably better than here, right? If you pay for it. And girls are good. So I don't blame you moving to Thailand, man.
No, everything's good. I was back in December for a wedding and to see my daughter and have Christmas. And I'll come back once a year, probably see my mom. What I've done to bridge I don't see my mom that much is once a month I make her a video. So I'm not making videos for the rideshare guys. But it's real easy for me to make a video because I've set it up so many times. And it's just like, hey, mom, here's some pictures and how you doing? And this is what's going on with your son. Since she has Alzheimer's, it reminds her, that I'm her son once a month. Yeah. But yeah, it's great here. It's great. Yeah. Probably a great thing to recommend to anybody is travel. Get out of the country, get a passport. Most Americans don't have a passport. Over half don't. And it just, if you're having some confusion about what you want to be doing, stop, go to England, go to Paris, go to Morocco. These are places that aren't too far away from America. And, it just completely exposes you to a whole nother world, and it just gets you thinking about different things.
Yeah, the world is 7 billion plus people, right? They're all somehow making it work, and we always think it's the best in the US, it's this, it's that. Well, you guys may be surprised, maybe it's not. But then you have to go take not my word for it, but take Jay's word for it. I've traveled quite a bit, and I understand totally what you're saying. So we have the past. Rideshare is done.
Well, let me just say this too. In our current environment, I don't want to be political, but
no,
in this current environment, especially in America, us versus them lives in the news, right?
Yeah.
And when you leave and you go see them, you realize they're us too, right? We're all human beings, and so that's just a huge benefit of travel, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, there's like I said, we're only 350 million people in the US. There's 6.5, 7 billion people doing their thing, and they're doing just fine, folks. Don't worry about it. Because our success here is like have a 6-pack, have an 80-inch TV, and then watch the Super Bowl. I mean, that's kind of gets fucking boring after a while. Jay knows what I'm talking about. So, Jay, okay, we talked past. Yes. Rideshare is done. Content creation is done. Done for good. By the way, folks. So if you do miss Jay, though, he has so much content over the last 8 years or 6 years that you can go always check out the channel and figure it out.
I'm not going to say never. I still think if I ever go back to America, even for a trip, I'm going to rent it. I'm going to do one of those car rentals with Tesla for a week or two and drive in San Francisco just to get it out of my system, just for the fun of it,
It's addictive, isn't it? Rideshare is addictive.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's it's hard to break it down, not have it be your identity. It is addictive. It is the good feeling. You drop somebody off. I've had a lot of shit jobs, Sergio. I've sold a lot of things. I used to sell advertising on grocery store shopping carts, right? You sell somebody something and you're like, I hope it works. With this job, and that's probably why I liked it so much in the beginning. They're happy. You're picking them up. They're happy to be in your car. It's clean. They got, Miles Davis playing lightly in the background, and I'm taking them to wherever they're going, and they pop out at the coffee shop and they're happy, and it's a good feeling. That feeling. It is a dopamine hit, and you get it so many times on a shift. It's great. It's great. I miss it. I do miss it.
Well, instead of picking up riders and dropping them off, you're picking up contracts and dropping them off now. So that's what you're doing. That's a lot faster. It's a lot faster, though. It's a lot. I think trading has more adrenaline involved than rideshare, I think.
Yes, definitely. But I literally sometimes I'm in a trade and my hands shake a little bit. It's like just getting used to it.
Yeah, I know. But okay, so we talked that present, future. Talk to me about the future. You said you're going to visit back and forth, but most of your living is going to be in Bangkok or Thailand, I'm assuming?
Yeah. I'm planning, my lease comes up in July. I hope to just stay here in my same spot. Sergio, I live in a 50-floor high-rise. I've got this beautiful view. I'm the 30th floor.
Can you tell us how much you're paying a month for that?
$600.
What the fuck, Jay?
No, wait. The dollar was down last month. It was $6.50.
That hurt me bad.
That does depend on the dollar.
You guys pay $600 for a car a month here.
Yeah, and you don't need a car here. Anyway, to go work out, I just go to the elevator, which is a few steps out my door, and I go up to the fitness center on the 49th floor. So that's how I work out. Then if I want to go sauna, I go to the floor above that, and there's a big pool and a nice 2-man sauna. It's all here. I go downstairs. There's an Amazon coffee shop, all this great food. You go down my street, you got the Marriott Marquis. It's a simple life. So what's my future? I am just working on achieving my goals with my work and getting healthy. At one point in my life, I was 245 pounds. I was fat. I was a fat fuck. and now I'm on an 8-week program to get down to about 190. I'm currently at about 196. So I'm leaning out, and that's important to me. As I've gotten older, Sergio, how old are you, Sergio?
I'm gonna be 59 in 10 days, March 29th.
So you're a young man.
No,
You're a young man. I'm 66, and as I've gotten older, me and my friends who are in the same age group, you just start thinking more and more about, what do I need to do to keep this going, right? Yeah. How do I stay young? How do I stay vital? So anyway, so I'm just focused on those things. I don't really have any big long-term goals other than getting my daughter married off. She's probably getting engaged this month, and then next year there'll be a big wedding. So just make sure my daughter's all taken care of before I go. That's probably my number one goal, that and my work, and nothing big and flamboyant. It's just stay healthy, man. I'll tell you two quick things. I'm going over, but
go over.
I've always said that there's two types of people. There's the person who's in the hospital looking out the window thinking, oh, how great it would be to be out there, not in this hospital, right? And then there are the people outside who are totally oblivious to how good it is, right? To be able to be walking around. And then the last thing, I was watching something. It was Morgan Freeman was on some talk show, and someone asked him a question about some advice he got from Clint Eastwood, right? So Morgan Freeman's probably in his late 80s, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. He's an old guy, and he was getting advice from Clint Eastwood. And the advice was, and this is for the old people on this call, because I know a lot of drivers are doing this in their retirement years to add a little bit of extra money. Don't let him in. That was the advice. Don't let him in. And him is the old man. Don't let the old man in. Because once and as you get older, you'll see more and more of your friends let the old man in, and they just deteriorate quickly. So you got to just really work that much harder on your physical well-being. But
your mind, I can tell your mind is super sharp. It's always been super sharp, and that keeps your body kind of going as well. You have something you love you're doing, okay? I mean, look, man, you got to like what you're doing. I mean, if you do that, I think that extends your life, actually, and especially if you're successful at it, that adds some pleasure to life. And I'm going to look, I know I don't care about how much you want to go over. I don't care. We can do this all day if you want. But I know it's 5:30. I know you probably have some routine or some meditation shit going on, Jay. I don't know what else you got going. But I'm going to give you the floor. You want to close this segment up and give our audience, for now, who are watching live or thousands by the later, what is your best advice? It could be rideshare advice. It could be life advice. It could be anything you want to say.
Wow. Well, I guess this is what comes up into my head when you ask me that is play big. Set an outrageous goal for yourself. Because when you do that, when I've done that, it then rearranges my whole life, right? So we've been talking about day trading. I've set an outrageous goal for myself for the next 2 years. And because of that, I've rearranged my physical health. I've rearranged my work. I've rearranged my relationships. Everything is now getting into alignment so that I can achieve this thing that I want to achieve. And I think that's a secret of life. Set a big goal, something you really want, something you don't even think is possible, because there are people who dream big and go out and do it. I mean, we just watched the Academy Awards. All those people at some point were just actors going on hundreds of auditions and being told, no, you're not good enough. And then something happens and they become, whatever. So I guess that's it. And I used to do that a lot when I was a driver. I would think about, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? What are the characteristics of the work that I want? And as a result, in my case, it's moved me to where we are talking about this right now.
Yeah, and to come back to your article, the first segment of the article, don't let rideshare identify you, because a lot of hundreds of thousands of drivers I talk to, they feel like they're in a box, they can't get out of it, and I don't think that's a good mindset. But Jay, so my friend, from me, the rideshare guy, to you, I wish you nothing but the best. We're going to keep in touch. Like, I'm still going to be up here, you know what, but this time probably in trading as opposed to rideshare driving, and I will definitely not call you an ant. Definitely not. So I wish you the best of health, best of everything you wish for yourself. And I want to thank you from the rideshare guy, but from myself and thousands of drivers, all these people you have helped over the, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 years that you've done this. You have done an amazing job, and I'm pretty sure you're going to continue doing an amazing job in whatever that you do. So we love you.
Thanks,
we'll see
thanks,
you around.
Sergio. Appreciate that. I didn't realize how much people were impacted by not the driving stuff, but all the work I did during COVID, helping people with their unemployment and helping people with the loans that they could get. I've gotten a lot of feedback about that more than anything. It was such a crazy time when all that was happening. But we never did the, I don't see the YouTube chat. Are you seeing people guessing on the number of?
No, not yet. Chris has a way of setting up the, a thing that he does. Chris is still not here, so I think I'm going to do it myself today. But
okay, well, I'll watch
it wasn't
YouTube
that
later.
Chris doesn't love you. He loves you as much as I do. But the dickhead decided to go to his CPA today. I mean, come on, man. Come on, out of all days.
Yeah.
No.
Come on, Chris.
Yeah,
what's
man.
Up with that?
What the fuck, Chris? Excuse me.
That's all right.
But so, Jay, let's keep in touch. I would actually love to interview you for my finance channel, actually.
Yeah.
When we have time, we can get on.
Reach out to me.
See, now we have more in common to talk about. We can talk shop for 24 hours because rideshare is boring, bro. This is more exciting and interesting.
I wouldn't say that, but they're both pretty cool. But yeah, anytime, Sergio.
All right, Jay, much love. Stay healthy, stay well. We'll keep in touch.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
All right. That was Jay. Well, we say goodbye to Jay, and I'm all by myself now, right? So what am I going to do? What do you guys want me to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the what? Okay, let's go to this. Let's see if I do this right. Nope, not that one. This one. This one? Yeah, this one. All right, so we're going to go to 30-second news topics. We're going to have a contest, by the way. Hang out, folks. Apple Juice next week, because next week is number 200, episode 200. And Apple Juice is going to be flowing next week for sure. Next week. So Chris is at his accountant. Out of all days, he picked today to go to his accountant. I thought, bro, what is your rush? Like, what's the big deal? He goes, no, I got to do it. I'm like, okay, fine, do it. So I'm just going to run the show. And here it is. So we're going to go rapid fire. Uber launching Uber Elite. I'm sure you guys have seen this somewhere. Just like Lyft has done. Lyft went and bought a limousine company. Uber is going the elite way now, meaning this is above. This is going to be a tier above Black, Uber Black. Okay, and they're connecting the app to a lot of limo companies and livery companies. So now you'll be able to get an actual chauffeur, open your door, do all the stuff that when you do rent out a limousine, they're just putting it in the app now as another choice for the riders. So I don't know. I mean, that's more spaghetti thrown on the wall, and let's see which one sticks. Lyft. Now let me see if Chris actually. Let me see if he has arranged these things. Okay, there we go. Okay, I forgot. Okay, so we have screenshots. So Uber Elite looks like this in the app. Natalie Long wrote an article. Uber is launching Uber Elite, a new premium chauffeur ride tier that will overtake Uber Black as its most expensive ride option to target corporate and executive travelers. It's open by invite only, and Uber is partnering with fleet companies that employ professional chauffeurs to offer trips in luxury vehicles like Cadillac Escalade, Lucid Air, Lincoln Navigator, And Lyft did that. Lyft actually bought out TBR Global Chauffeuring last year, which operates in 120 countries globally for about $110 million. So Uber Elite, here we come. The next surefire shot. We showed this before. I'm showing it again. Lyft is hiring, folks. If you want to get into the AV game, if you want to have your fleet one day, if you want to learn how to operate a fleet of autonomous vehicles, because they are coming. Lyft is going hard in Atlanta because they did an exclusive deal with Waymo. And last week we showed Amber Lynn Stoppel's piece from LinkedIn. This week is Reed Hershey. We are continuing to recruit for the first ever Lyft AV depot in Nashville, Tennessee. In partnership with Waymo, we are looking for service coordinators, material coordinators, and operations associates for multiple shifts, day, afternoon, and overnight. So they're going to, I guess, you can become a mechanic, you can work on the car, you can clean the car, charge the car, whatever it entails. It pays reasonably well, actually. So you'll have the opportunity to work under the incredible leadership of Andrew Sestina and become a part of Lyft history. So Lyft AV Depot, if you're interested, you can email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I will get you in touch with these people. The next rapid fire is going to be, so LAX. I live in LA. And in fact, I was on a couple of radio stations last week because people are losing their shit over this. I don't think people should. World's most expensive Uber could soon be at LAX as riders brace for 140% price hike. This is a misleading article, misleading top or headline, actually. So every time we drop off and pick up at LAX, it's $4 going in, $4 coming out, charged to the rider. Okay, folks? Well, if you guys have been to LAX as a tourist or as a traveler, business person, or a rideshare driver, LAX was built in 1960s. We call it the death loop, right? In LAX, drop-offs are upstairs, departures, and pickups are downstairs at arrivals. So when we used to do everything upstairs, pick up and drop off. Imagine that clusterfuck. I remember very well one time, it was during Thanksgiving, just to get in and out of the loop. I call it like the Roach Motel. You can get in, but you cannot get out. It took me an hour and 20 minutes one time during Thanksgiving. And I promised myself I will never, ever do that again because you're not getting paid for that. And so under the new proposal, as you guys know, for the Olympics and the World Cup, LAX built this 3-year late and I think $2 billion over budget tram system. And so they want to encourage the use of that. So what they did is they said, if you want to get still dropped off as a rider at the terminals or picked up at the terminals, the price is going to go from 4 to 12. That's the 140% increase. However, you can get dropped off at the tram and they call it automatic people mover, APM. Then the $4 is going to go up to $6. And then people are losing their shit. Look, man, people use Uber and Lyft for convenience, period. What's the big deal if it goes from 4 to 6? I don't see that big of a deal. However, a lot of people think it's a cash grab by the city because the project was 3 years over and $2 billion over budget. Hopefully it's going to work because that clusterfuck of a loop, right, needs help. If you guys have been in there as a driver, as a passenger, whatever it is, because the other thing they're going to do is they're going to get rid of LA Exit where you get picked up. So a lot of changes at LAX. If you're a driver in LA, this is not coming out of your pocket, but then, yeah, LAX does need more efficiency. And I think I'm okay with paying $6 instead of $4 and getting dropped off at the tram. And then it takes you literally inside the terminals. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. But then a lot of people were losing their shit over this. I don't know why. So is TK coming back? You guys remember TK? Travis Kalanick, the founder and ex-CEO of Uber until he got kicked out. Do you guys remember him? Yeah, I remember him. All the fair cuts under him. So is he coming back? Uber considers funding former CEO Travis Kalanick's self-driving startup in second reunion attempt. Now, I don't know if he's coming back, but Travis has a very famous or infamous, let's say, video out there that he was in a black and then he was like blaming the driver. right? Saying that the driver was complaining that you just cut the fares. I just paid 80 grand. This is like 10 years ago. 80 grand for this Cadillac, and what are you doing, and this and that. And that just got leaked all over the media. Travis is not a great guy. Although the new guy, Dara, I'm not sure what the difference is. Dara, I think, like, is softer version of Travis, but he'll still stab you in the back. So, but if Travis is going to come back, watch out, folks. And Uber keeps saying that, oh, we care for the drivers. Well, they're bringing Travis back, and I think they may back him up for his autonomous vehicle company, or which he's working on, and we'll see. I mean, look, autonomy is coming, folks, in every part of your life. So please don't put your head in the sand and say it's going to be okay. You are not going to be needed shortly. And here we go. Uber and Zoox announced a strategic exclusive partnership. I have been in one of these things. This is backed by Amazon. Zoox is backed by Amazon, and it's a two-way vehicle, by the way. It goes both ways as fast as it does. This is built from the ground up for autonomy. It's for 4 people, and the doors work like a train, actually. And, it's sliding doors. And so now Uber is adding this. Uber has added over the last 3 months more partners going to autonomy than anybody else that I know of. And now they partnered with Zoox, and they're going to be in San Francisco Las Vegas and Los Angeles in 2026 in Las Vegas in the summer, and in Los Angeles in 2027. So Waymo, AV Ride, and obviously Tesla and Zoox and all these people, right? And we're going to have Ryan Green on from Gridwise, actually, to talk to you guys about how much business is getting hurt of the human drivers. And folks, you guys need plan B, plan C, just like Jay did it. If you guys watch Jay, he did his plans. He drove for 10 years. He figured something out that's working for him. And I'm telling you, folks, this is the future of transportation. I hate to say it. And but that's where autonomy is going. And you cannot just say, oh, everything is fine, people are going to be needed, Waymo cannot do this, Waymo cannot do that. And last but not least, on the headlines, Uber's women-only option goes nationwide in the US. In fact, Associated Press, Alexandra Olson was kind enough to include me in her article. And my opinion was about this is that there is not enough supply, okay, for this thing to work, because 52% of all Uber and Lyft customers are female. And bad things happen after, especially in the dark and after bar pickups. These assholes, do whatever they do to these poor women. But also, you must understand, the violent crime, according to the Uber and Lyft reports, is 50-50. So in the car, by the way, assaults or violent crimes perpetrated is 50% from the driver to the rider, and 50% from the rider to the driver. So, but I said that the supply is not going to be enough. So about 18 to 20% of all drivers are female, okay? And that number drops drastically if you factor in the drunk hours and the bar hours, okay, which is 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That number drops to single digits. Well, if 52% of all riders are female, and if you do order as a female, which I understand, give you some comfort that you order a female driver for yourself, you're going to wait. And that's what I said. Are you going to sit there in front of the bar and wait an extra 20 minutes to get matched to a woman? For the riders, it's mostly about how fast can you get there and how much is it? And that's the fact, what riders. So, but then a lot of men chimed in. And in fact, there's a lawsuit going on, discrimination lawsuit going on, that men are saying that this is going to take away business from men. Now, if men had a men-only pickup, going with Uber, I'm sure females would be lined up suing the companies and everything else. But and Uber said it hopes women preferences options will attract more female drivers to its platform. I don't think so. And has launched a media campaign featuring star athletes, including Alex Morgan and Jordan Childs, to promote it. Good luck. More females are not going to drive because they're picking up just females. But I do understand the because it costs Uber a lot in lawsuits and everything else. when a driver sexually assaults or does worse to a female rider. So I don't understand why this is happening, but I don't think they have enough supply to take care of the demand. So gas prices, what is happening? You guys see the gas prices here? I just bought gas. Well, Chris did not put my fucking screenshot in there. Okay. Oh, no, actually he did. Chris, I take it back. Here's this last time I bought gas at a Shell station. $5.59 for regular, $5.89 for middle, which I don't know why that exists, and $6.09 for super. This is in Granada Hills, California, folks, and $6.69 for diesel. So, folks, as long as the war keeps happening and going on, crude oil is about $100 and $103 a barrel. If we do put boots on the ground, it's probably shoot up to one. So these prices are not going to go down anytime soon. And so Alex Bitter and Tom Carter did an article about it. And look at the headline, folks. Look at the headline. I gave him that quote. I said, you guys can use it. Decline and recline. We made it to the Business Insider headline because that's my quote right there. You decline and you recline. In fact, my article is coming out on Monday, what you can do as a driver to save yourself some money and change your driving habits a little bit, because as we know, gas, we supply. Tires, we supply. Oil changes, we supply. Maintenance, we supply. Insurance, we supply, right? And our Uber and Lyft fares have gone up. You guys remember there was a 55-cent fuel surcharge? You guys remember that? Well, that was bullshit, but it was better than nothing. Well, now gas literally from last week to this week in that gas station has spiked about $1.20 a gallon. Well, that's coming out of your pocket. So you got to be more selective now. So if you're not declining and reclining, then now you must do that, because now you're going to have many, many unprofitable trips with the shit offers that I'm seeing, especially in LA, but I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere else. So we made it to Business Insider. Decline and recline. Uber and Lyft drivers are rethinking what trips accept to navigate soaring gas prices. Absolutely correct. So high gas prices from the war in Iran are hitting drivers for ride-hailing apps like Uber and Lyft. Some gig worker drivers said they're changing which trips they accept. We're going to talk about that real quick. Others, such as EV owners, now those guys are laughing, right? Or the ones that rent Teslas or Mach, whatever that is, the Mustang, say they're unaffected by the price spike. Well, I wouldn't be so sure, because the charging costs are going to go up as it is. War in the Middle East is fueling a surge in U.S. gas prices, and it's happening. So in the article that I wrote, and it's coming out on Monday, number one, use credit cards that you get a cash back on. Number one, okay? Anything helps. I have Upside on my phone. In fact, I bought gas and I save 15 cents a gallon, which comes to about 3%. You can use that. You can use both. You can get the cash back on your debit or credit card when you use one, and you can use Upside. Okay, so you're going to get about whatever. If you have the Uber Pro or Lyft Pro debit cards, I think you can get up to 10% with Uber Pro if you're a diamond or something like that, right? So use every means possible. Number two, change your driving habits. What burns the most gas? Stop and go city driving, right? So if you were after these short little pickups and drop-offs, and if you're working the morning shift and you're stuck in traffic, you're screwed. You're burning more gas. So instead of doing too many short, stop and go traffic trips, do more maybe medium to long-ish kind of trips. I know they don't pay that well, but you got to change strategy. You got to really pay attention to traffic. Maybe in the morning shift, don't accept trips that are going into traffic, right? Because I know our freeways are gridlocked after 6 a.m. But then one side of the freeways moves better than the other side. So make sure you understand traffic flows. Make sure you understand all that. Use those credit cards that give you cash back or Upside, apps like that, or Gas Buddy, and change your habits a little bit. Because look, this is an immense hit to your pocket. There is no ifs and buts about it. I have spoken to Uber and Lyft about this. They said they have no plans. They think it's very temporary. They don't think it's like the one that was happening during the pandemic. They're not going to institute a fuel surcharge. Well, fuck, I said. I mean, gas prices have gone up from $4.50 to $5.50. Let's say you get regular. That's 20%, right? I mean, your gas mileage is not improving, So the other thing is, if you don't have to drive, don't drive. I mean, that's the last thing I can say about this. But my hat's off to Tom Cradeur and Alex Bitter. Decline and recline is the most important thing you can do. And if you're not doing that, like I called Jay for 2 years before they hired me at the rideshare guy, don't be a goddamn ant. Be a cherry picker, especially if you're paying $7 or $6 now, or $5.95, whatever the fuck it is, $5.60 now for gas. Be mindful. It's your business, folks. It's your small business. Your cost on one of the variable costs, one of your variable costs just went up 20%. So are you going to keep doing the same shit that you were doing before? No. Decline and recline. Look for the best trips that are best for you, not for Uber or Lyft, okay? This is not public service. This is not public transportation. You need to look out for yourself. So that's that topic. So let me, okay, this is hard to do, Chris. Where the fuck are you, Chris? So let me look at the comments. I got to catch a breath here, bro. Let me have some water. This is fuck. Where? Fuck. Is he texting me? Did he die? Is he just watching this and fucking laughing? No text. Some bitch. Anyway, I just have some water. Okay. Let's look at the comments a little bit. Let me take a break. Just a bunch of dumb comments. I don't know what that means. I need a fucking stiff drink, bro. Chris, no, there's no snow in Buffalo at the moment. All right, let's look at some comments. Been telling you for the 10 cashback elite drivers upside. Yeah, exactly. Do what Jeff said. 10% cashback. If you're elite, though. If you're not elite, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm using a credit card that gives me 5% cash back plus the whatever I get on upside, like 12 to 15 cents mostly. That helps. You know what I mean? MJ Smith Group, veteran, says, I've got an extreme cherry picker, but I am more valuable. Learn to get into, yeah, come on, bro. You're going to say the same shit 10 years from now when Waymos are zipping around you. Apple juice, 100%. That's next week. I'm going to drink a whole bottle on the show because it's our 200th episode. Okay, let's see other comments. In my market. No, well, MJ Smith, enough of you. You're spamming the fuck. I'm kidding, bro. Oh, Mr. Gambit. Take care, buddy. Yeah, there you go, my man. I want to go to Spain. But then now that Jay said that he's in a high rise for $600 a month, I'm going like, no, Spain is not going to be that cheap. Maybe I'll just go to Spain. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yeah, see? Okay, well, this is interesting. But $10 trip could be a horrible trip. What if $10 is a $10 trip? See, that's not a good metric. What if $10, it's a $10 trip, but it's going 30 minutes, pick up and drop off. That's $20 an hour. So that's a bad way to look at things. You have to analyze it every possible way, folks. When a ping comes in, you have to analyze it. I can't go through comments. There's too many comments. And I shouldn't. I'm wasting time. $10 for a 5-mile trip. Yeah, but what if it's taking you, in 5 miles in LA, morning traffic could be 40 minutes. So you got to consider all of it. You know what I'm saying? I've been cherry picker the last couple of years, and I'm finding a number of cherries to pick. Yeah, there they are, but you're still got to be. You can't quit. Last comment. I bet if every driver signed up to drive Uber and Lyft, today's acceptance rate dropped to 1 to 3%. Neither of those companies would raise. No, you'll be very incorrect on that assumption, sir. All right, next topic. Let's go to the next topic. What is our next topic? Now, I don't know how. We have a video that I have to play. I don't know how to play this video. Okay, so this is the headline for this one. A bug is going to be an epidemic now. All right, folks, if you're getting this, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I got a bunch of it this week. That's why I'm making this a topic, okay? So a driver sent me these screenshots. Pay attention. Uber stop added trip fare cuts. Uber riders are adding a stop, and Uber is cutting the fare instead of increasing the fare. If you're running into this, take screenshots like this of the ping screen and the final fare, and please send them to me, Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Uber knows about it. They call it a bug. I'm not sure if it's a bug. This is bullshit. Instead of paying you more, they're lowering the fare now. So this driver said, I had accepted a ride. The rider added stop to the ride that nearly doubled time and distance. I asked the rider how much she was charged before the ride changed. They replied 28. After they added a stop, their fare went up to 48, almost 100%. Okay. Uber gave this driver $2.33 extra, $18.72 to $21.05, and the trip went from $35 an hour to $22.80 an hour, which I would have not accepted. So do you guys accept trips that the stop shows, but then the riders are getting smart now? They're getting in the car and then adding the stop. What are you guys supposed to do? What are you supposed to do, Uber? Are we supposed to kick these people out of the car? So let's take a look at the screenshots. The ping came in at $18.72. As you guys can see, 9-minute pickup, 2.8 miles, and 23 minutes, 12.3 miles is the original trip that came in. Okay. Then they added a stop. The trip went from 23 minutes to 45 minutes, and the mileage went from 12 miles to 24 miles almost. And Uber paid this driver from $18.72 to $21.32, and Uber says your earnings went up because he had a wait time at the stop. Uber, are you fucking kidding me? This is $3, $2.50 for what is it? 25 extra minutes, 20 extra minutes, and 10 extra miles? If you guys are running into this problem, please send me the screenshots. All you can. Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Uber, this is unacceptable, and you know who I'm talking to now, because I know you guys are watching. This is unacceptable. It has been happening when stops are added, the fare is being cut. But when a stop is added and you jack the riders from 28 to 48, but you only pay the driver an extra couple of bucks for double the mileage and double the time, and then you advertise saying, oh, if a trip goes 5 minutes more than anticipated, we're going to make it up. This is not making it up. This is highway robbery. And it puts the driver in a horrible situation. If a trip goes like this and the rider adds the stop while they're in the car going to their original destination, what is a driver supposed to do when he hits that 12-mile and 23-minute mark? Kick him out? Because the next destination that they enter is extending the trip to double the time and almost double the miles. And you pay the driver $3, $2.50? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you guys think this is bullshit? This is fair? I mean, what is a driver supposed to do between a hard place and a rock? What am I supposed to do? Like kick the driver out and then take the rider out, they complain, and then I get deactivated. This is horseshit, Uber. This is complete and utter horseshit. But anyway, I agree a 1,000,000% for this. Yeah, Matt, 100% correct. Also, once the trip has started, all stops should be sent to the driver's phone, approve or decline. Absolutely. Because they add the stop, you get the ping, but you have no choice to decline. I mean, period. I 100% agree with this. There is no way. There is no winner here. There is no winner here. Okay? There's no winner here, especially on the driver's side. There was one other comment that I saw was flying. The fucking thing is flying today. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they paid this guy $2, literally $2 extra for double the miles and double the time. I'm like, what is happening here, man? And then I know some folks at Uber asked me, oh, you know, the culture is changing and maybe things are going to get better for the driver. Yeah, is that why they're signing AV partners after AV partners? Number one. And this is an epidemic. I'm getting so many of these screenshots. What they're doing is when a rider adds a stop, they're even cutting the fare. At least in this guy's case, they threw him an extra couple of bucks. But the driver's dilemma is, what is a driver to do? The rider gets in. They've gotten smart. because most drivers are not picking up trips that, if it comes in with the stop, they go like, hell no, I'm not touching this thing, right? But then riders have the choice to add it after a mile or two they're in the car. Now what am I supposed to do? What, get out? No, I mean, no, I agree with Matt. That's 100% correct. So, okay, I don't know if that works. I don't know if that works. I don't think that works, Banksman. Also, anyway, some of you tried that. Maybe it works. I don't think it works. Last ride is the new trip coming in. I don't think it works from them editing the trip and changing the trip. I don't think that works. Yeah, I don't think that works. Anyway, so send me the screenshot, Sergio@rideshareguy.com. Yeah, I figured that doesn't work. Okay, here's another one. Okay, another one. You guys see this one? This is double whammy now. So, hey, Sergio, I had one of these rides tonight. The passenger added a stop. There we go. Which was literally at the exit to his house. Okay. Then they reduced my fare from 43 to 36. This is happening too. Not only they're not increasing the fare, they're reducing the fare while they're jacking up the rider fare to 36.11. I talked to two different people. I'm going to send this to anyone I can and see if they will listen. Well, I'm listening, sir. I put it up. And it's definitely gone to Uber, I can assure you. We'll listen to, but I'm sure it won't go anywhere because Uber pays off a lot of politicians. That I don't know. The kicker is the fare on the reduced price says you were paid more because you waited at the stop. Check this out, folks. Original trip, $43, 6 minutes to pick up, 2.4 miles, and 52 minutes to the destination, 44 miles. So about $1 a mile, not too bad. $40, $43 an hour. Maybe there'll be a trip. The trip came in with a 45-minute disclaimer, right? This passenger changed the destination to a different stop from the original one, okay? Look at the duration and the distance, folks. The original distance was 44.7 miles. The trip took 45.8 miles, so that didn't change. And 57 minutes got cut to 44, and Uber saw this as, yeah, the trip changed, so we're going to pay you. Are you fucking kidding me, man? $7 less. So there you go. If you guys are seeing this, please send me all the screenshots. Sergio@rideshareguy.com. This is a travesty, Uber. This is horseshit. Okay, please.
Oh, is this the one? Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to Chris. We're fucking almost done. Okay, you know what? You do the rest of the fucking show. I'm gonna go take a look. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go get me a fucking apple juice because
Hey, that's fine. I hope
you bent me over, bro. Anyway.
Well, either way, sorry. Glad you held down the fort. You know, I had a meeting and it ran a little late than expected, and then I had to grab something quick to eat. So I am now here. Yes, granted, it might be 7 o'clock already, but it is what it is. Yes, just going on with this. The fact that they are not paying what they are supposed to as the terms that you negotiated, meaning you accepted it at $43. Why the fuck would they not pay it at all? That makes zero sense. I mean, how is that even legal? Be honest. Seriously. Are you muted? I think you might be muted there, bud. But either way, yeah, I mean, and
yeah,
then
go back one slide. Go back one slide. Look at the original. Look at the finished trip.
Yeah, so this one's 1872, and then it went to 2105, and
the trip went double the miles, double the time.
Oh yeah, gotta love that. So you get $3 more for the whole extra. Gotta love that.
Yeah. That's what's going on. Anyway.
In other words, hi, I'm Chris, and we're here to talk about how Uber is trying to fuck you.
And
for all you Louis Rossman fans out there. But yeah. All right, so where are we at now? All right, so we're at some trust when it comes to Uber and Lyft earnings statements. Do you actually believe what they say? Whew. Sergio, are you there? Are you mute? I think you're muted. Or you
no,
keep
I'm not.
muting or something.
Okay, let me go out and come back in. Just you continue with this.
Okay. Yeah, he might be having some issues or something. But all right, so your earnings summaries, your receipts, do you actually trust them? You really, really should be looking at everything with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, we've shown this how many times with everything. So it says, I would keep this relatively short, but I think you'll find it interesting. Just dropped off a passenger who wanted to change the drop-off location. When they couldn't figure it out, they passed me the phone and let me try to do it for them. Passenger fare was displayed was $41 and change. I'll share below shows the passenger fare was $28. It's fascinating when you see that they didn't match up, but obviously I didn't have time to take a photo of their screen to show what they were paying. Super frustrating to see that this kind of trickery we have arrived at. Next time, get the opportunity, definitely be ready to grab of their phone too. So, I mean, this is something where I'm not sure who this was, so I can't speak for when Sergio says this, but we have to kind of trust the driver saw this and said 41. I wouldn't put it past them to have that say. So I don't know. I don't know the story behind this when it comes to it, but still, nonetheless, it's something. So when Sergio does come back in, then we will be able to get that information when it comes down to it. But quite crazy when it comes to that. So double check. I just came in right at the middle and want to make sure. Okay. And then there's the other part to the same email from this and says, so is it legal for Uber to take my money and probably yours and others to cover the discounts that they offered to the customer? I noticed this a few weeks ago, but wasn't sure. I don't know if anybody else has expressed the problems with it, but I don't think it's right. There's Sergio. What's going on?
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So we were just talking about this one where they where the driver said that they saw the passenger screen that was $41 and change.
Yeah.
I have to take the driver's word for it. I don't know, but if you want to fill us in on the actual story of the driver
yeah, I mean, the actual story is I took his word for it, but I went back and forth with him a couple times, emailing, saying that, look, I will put this up with your permission, but this is neither here nor there. We're just taking your word for it because you're a driver and I believe you. But next time I go, you need to send me clearer screenshots, or you need to take a photo of what you're seeing. But then, I don't see any reason for a driver to lie, honestly. But you guys need to be on the lookout. Look, I never questioned this until today. And a lot of people have sent me emails saying that, how do you even know what the receipt shows is the actual price that they're paying? That would be the largest fraud SEC investigation. These companies will be shut down if they're books, because that means they're cooking the books. Yeah. And every earnings report, all this is factored in. Every single trip, every little debit, credit is factored into that. I'm hoping it's not happening, but then if you guys can prove it to me, I'll be glad to put this up. I'll be glad to call the SEC for you. But this is, definitely something that potentially could be happening, because I have gotten emails, drivers saying that, oh, I saw the rider's fare and it was a lot higher than the one on my receipt. I'm like, I don't know. Prove it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. You always got to say screenshot or, it didn't happen. So I think this just means that, we're putting you on alert, as we always do, say screenshot everything. This time, if you are actually able to, or better yet, if you have a dash camera, which everybody should, then this is something that you could do where you don't even have to screenshot from the phone or their phone. I mean, that would be much better, obviously, because the proof is right there. But unfortunately, sometimes the passenger may not give you the phone to do that unless you have a really good rapport with them all of a sudden. And some people could. Maybe you're personable, maybe you can. But
in this case,
but with the dash camera, what you can do is you can talk to them about it, and then if they're saying something that's different, like they say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting charged. Holy crap, I'm getting charged $41 for this," and then you look at the passenger payment on your side and it says 2191, like this screenshot and the email, then that's, a big giveaway as well too. So then that way, like I say, if it caught on camera, it's a little bit easier to believe and see if that's true or not. But obviously, if you can get the passenger's phone and screenshot, that's still going to be the better option. But at least that conversation, if you have that, you can send it to us at Sergio. So then that way we see that as well too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the best thing, look, this was in a case that the rider did not know how to edit destination, and he didn't end up doing it at the end. He handed it to the driver, and driver says, I saw 41. And that's, you can see, because now you have the rider's phone in your hand and you see what they're paying for the trip before the trip even finishes. So, that's one. And the next one that this one, I need the community's help on this one too. So this is something, the math adds up. So I am not sure if what this driver is saying is correct, but then I want to get the community's opinion on this. So email me on the Sergio@rideshareguy.com. So he says, so is it legal for Uber to take my money and probably yours and others to cover the discounts that they offered to the customer? I noticed this a few weeks ago, but I wasn't sure, and I don't know if anybody else has expressed problems. Yes, they have with it, but I don't think this is right, or it is right. So as you guys can see, this is the weekly summary that he received from Uber, and the yellow dot, yellow portion of that circle is customer promotions. So he's saying that the customer promotions are coming out of his pocket. I don't think they are. They're definitely coming out of the total customer fare, which includes, tips. And I'm going like, I don't think this is coming out of the driver's pocket. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's more of an accounting thing. And, when it comes to them, if they're able to say, hey, this is the price that we would have charged, but we're giving a promo to this passenger, then that has to show up in the accounting. So I don't know if that's just a carryover or not.
Because if you add the percentages, Chris, if you add all the percentages, they add up to 100%. So
yeah,
I don't think it's coming out of the driver's pocket. I think he's just, looking at it. But then why are they even showing that?
I think the reason why is that people are looking at this and saying, why is, why are all of these things coming out? Why is the, 25% going to commercial insurance? Why is the Uber service fee 24%? Right there, that's 50% of the earnings. I'm only making 44% of what the passenger paid. So I think it's just a lot of foul taste that people have when it comes to these. And, Uber is not doing any favors to themselves by breaking this stuff out, because they're going to say, oh, well, our service fee is, right around the 25% or whatever. We only took out this much, but all this other stuff is, which if you're somebody who looks at accounting and kind of understands that, then sense to that person. But to the average driver, they're going to look at two things. What did I get paid? What did the passenger pay? Why is there such a huge difference? Why did I only get paid $1,242 when, my customers paid at $2,800?
That's 40% of what the customer paid, basically.
Yeah, 44%. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pretty, deep. And then the problem with then, you got to take the Uber's word for it, saying that estimated commercial auto insurance $702. That's for a week, Chris, for a single week.
That's insane. That's just insane.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That seems pretty high to me, but it is what it is. Yeah, $700 for a week, not a month, for a week. You can get your own commercial insurance for like $800 to $1,200 a month. Okay. Yeah. But we'll see. So send me some of these screenshots. Especially if you get one that you look at the rider's phone and says 50, and then your receipt, ultimate receipt says 25, then we'll have a problem, Houston.
Yeah. So two things for you guys. First, in the chat, let us know, what do you think about these custom promotions? Do you think that that's cutting into earnings, or do you think that's just an accounting carryover? Put in the comments what you think. And then also, the second thing is, if you are getting these riders to talk about, how much they paid, and, if there's a discrepancy there, send it our way. So get it on dash camera footage saying, oh yeah, we paid, $36, and then it shows up on your receipt that they only paid. It said that they paid 28. Send it that way. If you can get the screenshot from their phone that actually shows the receipt and that's showing the discrepancy, I mean, that's even better. But either way, just talk to your passengers. That's the easiest thing. Because you know what? Your passengers are going to be just as pissed off because they're looking at the price and they're like, I'm getting fucked too. And they're not happy. You go back a few years ago, they're fine. They're like, hey, yeah, this is great. I get to go home. I don't have to worry. I drive my time. So that's getting all the people are like, I get to go out, I get to have fun. I don't have to worry about DUI. But now getting a whole different story. You're getting passengers who are like, I can't believe that this ride is costing this much. And then it's like, yeah, well, you ordered at 2:30 in the morning. What do you expect? When no drivers on the road and, everybody's trying to get home at that point. But, that's what urging that. But on top of it, it's just the cost of rides are so much higher. So they're getting pissed off. So you have that common connection right there. You can kind of figure it out and talk to them, especially if you're personable. You can actually figure it out. And whether you're getting that on them admitting it through like the dash camera or actually able to get the screenshot, that would be great.
Yeah. So while you are at your, accountant and whatever, so I was talking to Jay. We thought of a contest. So I don't know how to set up the thing. So I said, we're going to do that, Jay, because it was Jay's wish. And we grant his last wish, like his last meal. So he says, Serge, can you guess how many articles and videos I've done for the Rideshare guy since I started? So he goes, make it a contest. I go, okay, we can make it a contest. So do we have a way of making it a contest and putting it up? And we send Rideshare guy hats, not this one, but the trucker's hat, to, let's say, the 3 closest ones, because I know what the number is.
If you know what the number is, then sure. I mean, we'll talk to Harry.
I know the number. You want me to text it to you?
Well, I mean, if you know the numbers for that,
I know the number.
It's kind of like how many jelly beans are in the jar.
No, yeah, exactly. I know the number. Let me text it to you, and then we know what it is. Okay.
Okay. So. Yeah. We'll email Harry, and next week is 200. So maybe we'll.
Oh, do you want to do it next week? Okay, so he was next week. We'll do it.
Yeah, we'd have to do that next week, which is fine.
We'll do it next week.
So we'll do that because 200 episodes next week. Can you believe
next
that?
Week. Well, I'm drinking, bro.
4 years.
Heavily drinking.
Yeah, quite crazy. But all
right.
Hopefully, maybe we'll do something like that for next week's show because it is 200. So it kind of be cool to do sort of giveaway and something like that.
Give some shit away.
How many?
Yeah,
interesting when all that's said and done. So
all right,
we'll see. But let's move on. Let's talk about Lyft is learning all the bad habits of Uber's algorithm. Of course they are. You got to love this shit, right?
This is as good as somebody can send me this stuff. Okay, and Lyft has definitely received this. In fact, Lyft responded.
Of course,
original when I sent it to them, they go like, "Do you have some screenshots?" I'll go, boy, do I have some screenshots for you guys. And then I bombarded Lyft with this shit. Okay, Chris, look at this, Chris. Okay, so this is happening on reservations, folks. If this is happening to you, please send me the screenshot, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. This driver made it as easy as possible for me. So, Chris, the reserve trip was priced at $27.10. And the driver accepted it. It seems fair. 22 miles, 33 minutes. Pretty good, right? About $50 an hour. Yeah, not too shabby. So, but then he picked up 110% turbo.
Nice.
So you would think it would go to 54 or more. 110% of 27, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Look what Lyft did. Look at the second screenshot.
Ooh, so for those who are just listening, not paying attention, it's the screenshot showing you the earnings receipt, and it shows the upfront pay and the earnings, but then the second screenshot is talking about the breakdown. So you got your base earnings, your turbo, your wait time, tips and scheduled ride premium. And yeah, instead of paying the $27.16 that they were supposed to, that was said with the 110% turbo. So if you do 110% of $27.16, that comes out to $29.88. You add those two together, plus your wait time, plus your tip, plus your scheduled ride premium, it should be $67.78, not $37.21. So what they did was they changed the base earnings in the turbo from $27.16. They dropped it to $12.60, and the 110% turbo went to $13.87. Bring that down, so it ended up the driver ended up making $37.21 with the $6.80 tip included in that.
Brutal.
Wow. So talk about a $30 haircut right there.
Brutal. So is Lyft learning well, you think? Yeah, they're learning really well. So this is a no Lyft again. Okay. So if you guys do get this kind of thing, and you're as eloquent as this driver has been, please send it to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. You know, this driver lost both ways, Chris. 110% of 27 is out of the window, but now they paid him 110% of 1260.
Yeah.
How is that possible to me as a involved in math person? Forget the last haircut and this and that. You explain to me, how does it go from 27.16 to 12.60? How?
I will tell you why. Breach of contract. You accepted a contract at 27.16. They broke that contract and then refigured all of the pay. That is a breach of contract. I believe that is a very big legal issue. And that Lyft, if you are watching this, you need to pay that driver another $30 on top of just that ride.
Just that one.
Every other time you're doing it, because we have two other rides that this happened on.
Look at the next one. Look at the next one.
Yeah. So I was just going to go there. So the second ride, the upfront pay was $41.51 for this, and obviously it was a little bit extra in time and of what it was, and it was estimated 46 minutes and ended up being 58 minutes. So you should have had some sort of additional pay there when it comes down to that. But still, even still, the upfront pay was $41.51, and somehow he got $41.78 with a 50% turbo applied. So again, they cut the base earnings and the 50% turbo off that base earning. So instead of being $41.51, they dropped it to $24.79, which means the 50% should have been $20.76, but in reality, they dropped it to $12.40. So right there should have been $62.27, plus the wait time, scheduled ride premium, and the $4 pet ride bonus, bring it up to a total of $66.86. Instead, this driver only got $41.78. So you know what? That $25.10 needs to be paid to this driver.
And so this is the same driver, by the way.
Yep.
So $30 on the first one, 25 on the second one. There's one more.
Yep, one more.
Yeah, there's one more. There's this one is $20.15. Okay. The tip was $7.59, so it's 27 and change, right? All right. The trip still decent, $20 for half hour work. Okay, good. And then if you go to the next screenshot, it shows he picked up a 100% turbo, right? So remember 2015, right? You remember 2015?
Yep.
They dropped. Is there another screenshot?
Oh, right. No, just these two. That's why I don't.
It got cut off on the bottom.
Way.
It got cut off on the bottom because on the bottom it says the base fare. They dropped the base fare to $12 or $11. Did the same thing.
Gotta love that. So
100% turbo on 20 should be 40. Yep. Plus the tip should be 47. So there's another $25 he got bamboozled on. So just these 3 trips, he lost like $80.
Yeah.
So this is 80. Okay, Lyft, you're doing it really well, but this like up to you know what is too much. I mean, pennies we can maybe let go, but this is $80.
No.
$80.
Man, I'm so cheap. I will literally take a nickel and squeeze it into a dime.
I'm telling you, this is shocking to me. This is one single driver in a small market in Utah, Chris. One single driver. Folks, if this is happening to you, please, if you're taking scheduled trips, a lot of elite drivers take scheduled trips, which is good for them because they get the first dibs on scheduled trips if you're elite. Please pay attention to this and send me all the screenshots you want. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. This is outrageous. $80, bro. $80 in 3 trips. So multiply that times how many scheduled trips, how many drivers. Wow.
A lot. So either way, another thing to watch out for, and another thing, if you see this, this driver set it up really nicely. So if you have that, even if you can send, I mean, he showed
we can figure it out. We can figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have the initial screenshot right there where it shows the actual ride details, so then you got that included with it. Just make sure you send that, and then send this breakdown, especially if you're getting a turbo, if they're screwing your base fare, because it should match the base fare, and the ride that you accepted should match. So whatever the upfront fare was then versus what you get paid should have matched. If that has a 50% turbo attached to it, well, then there you go. If it has 100%,
well,
if it's 10%, whatever, it should be attached to it.
So the deal is this: you accept the trip at 27. The base on the trip should be 27, irregardless of how much turbo is involved. If you're lucky on your way there, you picked up a turbo, it should be in addition to that, as opposed to in lieu of cutting the base fare. So that's why I said Lyft is learning really well. Lyft Algo is really picking up all the bad habits of Uber, but they're not doing it pennies.
The problem is, I still believe that this is a breach of contract. I would love to talk to a lawyer about this, because I think that this is a massive breach of contract. You literally accept a job at a certain price, and then they renegotiate the terms after the fact without your consent.
I mean,
if that is not the de facto, then I don't know what it is.
But if you look at the scope of this thing, this is massive. This is a single driver in a small market in Utah.
Oh yeah.
Multiply that times, I don't know how many scheduled trips are in the Lyft system. And this is not the only one that's happening to. I guarantee you, folks. Maybe they're going to come back to me and say, well, there's a glitch. If there's turbo involved, the alcohol is lowering the this and that. I'm like, no, man, no.
Yep.
Well, send it to me. Talk is cheap. Send it to me.
Send those screenshots. We want them.
Wow. Lyft.
Oh.
We were friends.
Yeah, I mean,
like, wow.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell Lyft right now, if you do not make that driver whole, and all the other drivers, I'm going to tell him to talk to a lawyer and see what recourse they have, because that to me is fraud. That to me is breach of contract, and you should be on the hook for that. And not only that, if I took him to court, I would also add interest to that.
Well, all I can tell you guys is I'm not an investigative reporter, but I do have a lot of contacts, and we will put this out there. Lyft already has all this, and they haven't come back to me yet. It's been about a week, because I just got these from this driver last week, and it was like, on every trip there's turbo involved, so they're cutting the base fare. I'm like, what are you talking about? So the original sin of scheduled trips, Chris, was that on the way to the pickup, if you picked up turbo, they were now paying you the turbo. That stopped. Now this is the ultimate shaving. I mean, we're talking $30, $25. That's like, it's 2 tanks of gas, man. That's like, what is happening here? So anyway, all right. Yeah. So send them to me, folks. Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about, is it still possible to earn over $3,000 a week driving Uber?
You know who that is.
We know exactly who that is. Iron Man.
Iron Man of Boston. You know,
man, another $3,000 a week. What are you guys doing? You guys aren't working enough.
Yeah, and you know what? His hours got less actually. On the last one we put up, he was like active for like 70 hours. He got less. He's driving smarter, probably.
Driving smarter, not harder. Nice.
Now, all of you are going to fucking say, oh, he has no life. Oh, blah, blah, blah. First of all, if you guys have not read my articles and see the interview with Raphael from Boston. Matt knows him. He's in Boston. This guy is a machine. He's a machine. 3K a week, week after week after week for the last, how many years? 3 years? 4 years?
For a lot.
He is a fucking machine. So it is possible. He's in a good market. He's got backup, right? He's got the active hour backup and all that good stuff. So there's your $3,000. And when you guys say he has no life, he does. He has a wife. He has a kid. He has actually properties that he's buying with this extra money in Brazil, in Mexico, and he's loving what he's doing. And there's your $3K a week, Chris. He sends them to me every week. He's either like couple hundred short, couple hundred over. I don't put it up every week because people are going to go, oh, you guys are full of shit. Nobody can make $3,000 a week. I'm like, well, there it is. Right there. You know? Yeah. Is it guaranteed $30 per hour there? Yeah, it's like 32 something. But he's not using that part. Look at his numbers. $2,521 divided by 66 active. That's about $40 an active. So it's above. So he's not going to get the top off. On online hours, let's take that. 2,521 divided by 77 is 33-ish. That's killer numbers, bro. And he drives a Lincoln MKZ hybrid. He gets like 40 miles a gallon. Lyft numbers were better, much better than Uber. But then he does it, you know. You guys noticed on a Monday, he didn't work Uber that much. He killed Lyft that day. And then he just switched to Uber after that. And he drives.
I mean, the reality is, though, Uber is always going to be big markets. So not all markets. I mean, Lyft is busier in some markets, but for the most part, Uber is definitely more. And I mean, you can see 192 trips versus 32.
What? If you put 12 hours a day, max is roughly 1,000. You need to do something else if it's 64.
Well, it depends on
12 hours a day and it's 1,000 you gross? You need to definitely do something else.
Depends on the market, and you might need to look at different locations in your market. You might need to look at changing things up a little bit. Times that you're driving, all that stuff. There could be quite a few explanations there.
But he's saying if I put 12 hours a day, he'll gross 1,000. How's that? How do you do that? How can you for the whole week 12 hours a day every day, and you only gross 1,000? That comes to like $10 an hour, bro.
What market are you, Rich?
Okay, Rich.
Put your market. If this market sucks, I don't know what market you're in, buddy.
I don't know.
I mean, Orlando, yeah, I could see. Florida is just dog crap.
Florida is garbage.
Actually, did you see what I sent you the other day?
I know, it's 25 cents a mile.
25 cents a mile. Lyft was paying. It was insane. We'll show it next week. Hey,
you missed the first topic.
Which one?
Business Insider headline: decline and
recline. Yeah. Okay, so I put in a chat. I said, hey, if a driver accepts a reserved ride for 25 and then later heading, they get a turbo attached to it and set 100%. If the ride you see showing the trip receipt shows going from 25 to 12, is this fraud, breach of contract, for payment, any legal recourse? And it said, yes, there could be. And I'll read the whole thing because it's not too, but
you put it in ChatGPT?
Yeah, it says what's happening in your scenario, blah, blah, blah. I already said that. Potential legal issues. 1, breach of contract, strongest argument when you accept a ride that at 25, this can be interpreted as a contract offer accepted by the driver. If later they change the base calculation result in a lower total or manipulated structure, I accept a job for 25. You can't retroactively change the pricing model. But the problem is Uber and Lyft terms, usually earnings are estimates. They can adjust fares. Payment structure is not guaranteed. I think that's the upfront fare. So technically, I don't think that but would be part of it. Deceptive unfair business practice, much stronger angle. The app shows 25 as clearly expected earnings, then internally reduces the base to offset average. This can be argued as illusionary pricing, bait and switch mechanics. This falls under state consumer protection laws like New York General Business Law, FTC fair or deceptive practices. So the key question, would a reasonable driver believe they are getting additional surge or the top off on top of the $25? 100%, right there. So yeah, a deceptive unfair business practice could be a thing. Wage theft, harder but possible framing. Drivers and independent contractors, so classic wage theft is harder, but some legal theories argue algorithmic pay manipulation was unlawful compensation practices. This has been explored in gig worker lawsuits in California, New York, and Massachusetts. Fraud is the hardest. Fraud requires intentional deception. You relied on it. You were harmed. You need to prove they intentionally showed 25, knowing they'd reduce the pay later. This is difficult because they claim it's dynamic pricing, not deception.
Dynamic pricing is on the rider, bro.
Yeah. Real world legal recourse is arbitration is the most likely path. Small claims court, regulatory complaints, class action, big legal question. Everything hinges. Did the platform represent 25 as a guarantee pay or just subject to adjustment? And did they offset surge by lowering base, effectively canceling the benefit? So, yes.
Lyft has these. So please send me all the ones you get, folks, if you do a scheduled trip. And there's turbo attached, and if they shave your base, please immediately send it to me. It could be $1, it could be $3, it could be 10 cents, it could be $5. In this case, ridiculous amount of numbers. Send them to me, Sergio at ridesharegun.com.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this is how the driver pricing algorithm should actually work. Not how it does, but how it should. Now, this right here. There you go.
There you go.
I mean, still, it's dog shit.
No. Still, lipstick on a pig is garbage. But
no. All right, just kidding. In actuality, it has no real basis there, and you want to know why?
No.
Because the second screenshot has the $40 Boost Plus included. So all they're doing is just adding the $40. And I mean, 115.46 plus 40 is 155.
Yeah, but the fare went up to 155. It didn't go down, first of all.
Well, it didn't go down. You're right.
I mean, okay, first of all, we have a win here. let's just celebrate a win when we can get a fucking win.
But right? I'll tell the other reason too is it came in.
Look at the times of the screenshots. Look at the time.
Yeah, it was a minute. It was a minute difference. I'm thinking of a different screenshot. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, both of these, no matter how you look at it, is an absolute decline. There's no way I'm driving 208 miles just to take it for $115 or $155.
Oh, for sure.
No freaking way.
For sure.
I ain't going from Columbia to Wilmington. Sorry. Ain't happening.
No, for sure. But I wanted to put something positive, Chris. Something positive.
Yeah, hey, hold on. Actually, I could say that they shaved 46 cents off this ride. Even though the Boost Plus was included on the second ride, they actually shaved off 46 cents on this ride because it should be 115.46 plus 40 equals 155.46, showing the driver 155.
That's because look at the pickup distance. The pickup distance went up, and they cut the fare. So that I didn't understand that one either. But.
So there you go. They actually shaved the fare on the second one. They just gave you a $40 Boost Plus included.
I'm just
trying to sweeten the pot a little bit. But when you're looking at a trip to trip basis, yes, like it actually went up $40, which is completely surprising. Just a whole minute. Did that person actually get to where they wanted to? No.
Where did that 40 come from? Out of the blue, number one, because they probably pinged like 10 drivers, and they all looked at it, and what did they do? They declined and reclined. They reclined, and then Algo goes, "Shit, we're gonna lose it to Lyft. Let's pop in 40." And again, like Chris said, this is dog shit. This would be recline and decline at 255 maybe. Yeah, 255. I think $80 an hour, even with a dead. Well, I'm not sure actually. 6 hours, 255, 40. I would hypothesize. Okay, so
I mean, but here's the thing: between Columbia and Wilmington, there's not that much.
That's a different state, no?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
You're starting in South Carolina and you're going to North Carolina.
No, yeah, there's no return trip. There's no return. But all I wanted to do is we have put so much negative stuff. Negative meaning,
you know
rightfully so. But
hey, but that's the thing. I found the problem. You still got shaved on the ride.
But I was like, can we just like do something that shows an increase after the decline, or
no? Because even during your so-called increase, you're still getting shaved.
Yeah, even if you
and no matter what, that ride is not worth it. Even at 155, it's not worth it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And I was like, okay, let's just put it up because no, just to show Uber that sometimes the algo does work the right way, although still
no, it doesn't. Nope, it shaved you right there.
Yeah, it's not doable.
Proven.
Anyway,
proven.
All right.
So let's go on to the.
We have I see the video there. Did I pass that topic while you were gone? Lyft logging out people. That's a big topic. I'm getting a lot of emails about that.
I don't know. Did you talk about it?
I don't know where it was. Where was it?
Huh?
Where was it? I don't know. I just did what I did. I don't know.
So you probably skipped it. You probably skipped it.
I probably skipped it. So we should talk about that real quick. Like just show the video for it's like 30 seconds.
Okay, so yeah, this is becoming a real problem. Essentially, it is if you are on the Lyft platform and you decide to decline and recline after a few, they decide to kick you off.
After 2 or 3.
There we go. So you can see here comes the ride, and then all of a sudden you're online. Oh, wait, go online. What? How did you kick me off?
Is this happening to you folks? Like after 2 or 3 declines, the system is logging you out? Not logging you out, kicking you offline. And then you're thinking all this time, you're probably online and you're not getting any chips. And then you look down half hour later, you go like, wait a minute, I didn't turn the app off.
Yeah. So we had that problem with them doing that, a while ago. And then Uber was doing it as well too, but Uber was worse because after they would kick you off, when you tried to sign back in, you couldn't go back on for like 6 hours. And then they're like, oh, it's just a glitch. We fixed it though. We fixed it. Now all of a sudden it's coming back on the Lyft platform. So
we know about
we all know that what Lyft and Uber do, the other one does pretty soon after. So I'm going to extend that. If you see this happening on the Uber platform as well too, let us know because.
Well, I mean, there, driver was kind enough to send me the recording, and I mean, do they have the right to turn your app off? As an independent contractor?
I don't think so.
I don't know what's going on with Lyft, bro. One of my favorite people left Lyft. You know that, right?
Yeah.
His shit's going downhill, bro.
Was it because all that person was keeping everything together, or
no? But she was up there, and I'm like, seriously, all this stuff. I can't believe Lyft is doing all this stuff. Did they create that little dark room like it exists at Uber? That they created a little dark room with a bunch of people in it saying that how do we?
Or the greater conspiracy is that Lyft is just Uber with a different name.
Well, a lot of people say that.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay, turning the app off. That massive amounts of shaving on scheduled trips. Those are not good things, Lyft.
Deceptive practice or breach of contract, depending on how you want to frame it.
Well, hopefully we'll fix those. Well, at least the scheduled trip thing is disastrous. Yeah. That's $80. That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Just on 3 rides for one driver.
Yeah. It's one single driver. Multiply that times 1 million drivers times, I don't know. You think Lyft would do 100,000 scheduled trips a day? Because they do 2.4 million trips a day. 100,000, at least 10% are scheduled trips, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I'm sure it is, yeah. They love scheduled trips. That's a big moneymaker for them.
Yeah, you see why. Oh, we're going to charge you. We're going to charge you extra, and then we're going to adjust the price.
Without the shenanigans. No, without the shenanigans.
Yeah, anyway. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about the dangers of accepting rides just by looking at the fares.
Yep. You see the big number, you go, yep, click. Let's just get it.
Look at that. Oh, look at that money. Look at this. I could make $48.32 on this electric reserve ride with a $15 surge attached. But it's 2 hours.
Yeah, you know what though? A lot of drivers would take that. They because you know what? Because their eyes are not trained. They're only looking at the pickup, I mean, the drop-off destination? Because if you look at that trip and only take a look at the drop-off, 1 hour and 18 miles, you go, yep, take it, $50 an hour. I'd take it. So, folks, please, please, please take your time, even although you have 10 seconds, let's say. In some places, it's 15 now. Please take your time. About?
Not 1 hour, it's 2 hours.
I know, but a lot of drivers, I'm saying, only look at the destination and the drop-off time. Like how much, because most of them are thinking, it's a short pickup, I'm sure, or whatever. They're not looking at it. And then because they see the $50, $50 is huge.
You know what I see missing on both of those ones? Or
plus 45, yeah.
Where's the 45-minute plus? That should be there. Why isn't that on it?
It's a bug. It's a bug.
Yeah, it's a bug. But yeah, so that's the first one. You're getting $48.32 with a $15 surge attached. Ooh, that looks nice. Until you look at it. It's 58 minutes to the pickup, just to the pickup. Which is 11 miles, and this is because it's 9 a.m. Or 9 p.m. I'm not sure. Either way, it's in Miami, so you know, gotta love that. So you got to pick them up, and then you got to drop them off, which is another 54 minutes and 18 miles. Then you look at the second screenshot. You're making $58 with a $17 cert. Ooh, that sounds good. Until again, you look at the pickup, 57 minutes just to the pickup, or 11 miles, and 1 hour, 1 minute, which is 25.9 miles to the drop off. So again, 2 hours. And then the third screenshot here, you're getting paid $26.83. And this is a little better. I mean, you're getting 24 minutes and 11.8 miles to the pickup, 25 minutes or 15.3 miles to the drop off. So, I mean, all in all, that's 50 minutes for 30 miles or 36 miles. And, you know, it's a little better. Still decline and recline, but a little better.
Yeah, the first two are, please don't don't train your eyes to the big number. I mean, you may be short cash, you're doing this, you're doing that. Factor all this in, add the two numbers and the 2 miles, and then quickly divide it by the dollars, or dollars divided by the two numbers that you add, time and distance. Because these both are hell. Those are hell. I mean, I'm looking at this. Florida traffic looks as bad as LA traffic, bro. What is that? 11 miles takes 57 minutes? Holy shit.
That's a bad traffic. Mike, no, I still don't care about the hourly pay rate. I'm talking about the hourly in terms of an hour where you're just getting to the ride, to the pickup. And then there's an hour for the actual ride. So I'm looking at hard figures in terms of how much time you're spending on that particular ride. I don't care about the hourly rate. I don't think you should be looking at hourly rate, because if you want to look at hourly rate, go to a job. You're looking at, this type of job, you should be doing everything in the expenses, which cost per mile. So you should be looking at earnings per mile. My opinion.
But there's a good point here. MJ Smith says both these trip offers are acceptable on a good per mile rate. So if you're only looking for per mile, if you train your eyes per mile, so first trip is 20
but again, you're missing. I'm not looking at the per hourly rate. I'm looking at how long the ride is completing. So that's different. Well, I'm talking to Mike. It's different in that aspect. So you're not just looking at one factor. You're looking at multiple factors to see if that ride is worth it for you. So yeah, it doesn't matter when it comes to the earnings per hour means absolutely nothing again. The hourly pay, nothing. You're looking at the time it takes to the pickup and the drop off to see how much time it's going to take you. You're making decisions based on the factors that they give you. So they're saying, oh yeah, this one's 58 minutes to the pickup. Would you want to drive an hour just to pick up the passenger? Or would you rather, take a ride that's going to be a little bit closer to you?
Yeah. No, I mean, all these trips are not.
No, I will gladly disagree with you that how long a ride is not an hourly rate. Hourly rate is how much am I getting paid per hour for that particular ride. That has nothing to do with how long the ride is going to take or estimated to take. It's completely different.
You're figuring out pickup, drop off combined, and they're just looking at active, which is just the drop off part. And a lot of drivers will look at that and go like, 1 hour 58. They'll miss the top part of that pink screen, and they'll just accept. But I am hearing this, and Matt said the same thing. on Uber Electric, because there is a friend of ours in Arizona that he drives. He goes like every single trip I get is like long pickups, like half-hour pickup, because there is no cars that are. If a rider is specifically ordering Uber Electric, there's no cars, and then they're pinging these people from like this first trip.
Yeah,
they're pinging him from freaking wherever the hell he is. I mean, 11 miles an hour away. Come on now, who's going to wait for that anyway? The rider, and the disadvantage of that is if you accepted this trip, and let's say you're on your way, right? You shouldn't accept, but let's say you did. You think the rider is going to wait an hour for your ass to show up? Hell no. You're going to be like 10 minutes into it. They're going to cancel on you, and then you're going to get a lousy $2 whatever cancellation fee. So, yeah, don't take these.
Moral of the story is nobody's adopting the electric, and so there you go.
Yes.
Or at least the percentage isn't there to make it worth it.
Definitely.
But either way, yes, make sure you look at the ride and the information that you're given to see if it's going to be worth it for you to take or not.
They're not reservations, sir. Look at the second one. It's the regular Uber X ping. Not all of them are reservations. Look at the third one. They're not reservations. It's just coming in all shapes and sizes. And the second one is Uber X. It's not electric. It's nothing. 2 hours? Come on, man. Come on now.
Yeah. No, thank you. That's insane.
Yep.
All right. Anything else there, Sergio?
No. Are we done?
We're done.
Jay's interview was fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I'll go back and watch it.
Please watch that one. And then I'm sure we'll put that out as a segment. Next week is our 200th episode. I shall be drinking apple juice. I actually asked Harry to show up. I actually asked Harry to show up. And Harry texted me back and said, your audience doesn't want to see me. I go, to the contrary. It's just for you to come on and give us a pat in the back saying, good, attaboys, attaboy. And so we'll see. Stay tuned. You guys want to see Harry's face? I don't mind. So yeah, we'll be drinking some Japanese apple juice. We'll be celebrating. I don't even know if we're going to have topics. Should we even have topics? Should we open the floor and have people come on and just have a party?
I think let's see what the
are we short of topics?
I think we should see what ends up happening for the week. See if there's topics, or I mean, because obviously if people are sending us stuff and it's timely and we want to get it out to you guys, know.
Well, we'll definitely open it though. We'll open it to you guys. We'll open the show for maybe 15, 20 minutes or something, because we want to thank you, because without you guys watching and commenting and liking and subscribing, we wouldn't be able to get to 200. That's a long way, bro. 200.
Yeah. Wow. 4 years almost.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, Sunshine Man wants to see Harry. Sunshine Man, I will respond to your email. I know you're coming to LA. I will have lunch with you before Cradeur. So there you go. I answered it, but I will respond to your email separately, Sunshine Man. Sunshine Man is coming to California.
Nice. For Cradeur?
No. He has a friend in Palo Alto. And I go, Jeff, Palo Alto is like 500 miles from LA. He goes, that's okay. I'll come down and see you. I'm like, okay. I'll buy you lunch.
Well, I mean, with that thought, why don't you just drive there? I mean,
to Palo Alto? No. The next day.
No. I'm talking to Sunshine Man. He's in Colorado, so it's.
Yeah, well, no, he likes driving. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree on that. Wholeheartedly.
I don't think YouTube will appreciate that, but maybe we'll have it in the background over here or something.
It'll be the highest watched episode of any live stream. If I have a girl in my back doing the pole dance, it'll be the highest show ever.
Maybe we'll get Bill Clinton doing the saxophone.
Hey, Monday. So Tuesday is St. Patrick's Day. No, is it Monday?
Today is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Drink your green beer. Come on.
So out of this loop, sir. Chris, seriously, you threw me in such a loop. I'm looking at the window. Jay's interview, 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in. I'm going like, did something happen to him? Like, did he crash or some shit happen?
Because I texted you.
I did not raise him like this. He's a responsible child. And look what he did. He effed me.
I came.
You know.
You know what? I tested you. I had to see how well you could do by yourself
I did well.
with topics. Did you do the
okay.
rundown or no?
I did the rundown. I took them off. I did the rundown, the headlines. Then I did that. And then I talked to Jay. And then I kicked him out. And then I did that. So I think I did okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So next week, please join us. 200th episode. We're going to be drinking.
Mike, that is a very true statement right there. Very true statement.
100%. 100%. I loved strippers in my car. Not because they stripped or anything. They tipped well. They tipped so well. Strippers tip so well.
For the most part, yeah. Some
Especially
of them are cheap.
They got good tips, yeah.
Some of them are cheap, but
no, my best story is with a stripper, bro. Maybe I'll tell that next week. Yeah.
I had a few as well. One got fired, broke down in my car.
I love Rideshare.
And it was
no, this one was
then the personal escorts are the best because they're the ones who are getting changed in the backseat.
The high end ones, yeah. The high end ones, yeah. The high end ones are. Yeah. They smell
all right.
good.
Anything?
No.
Huh?
Okay. They smell good. It's all good. All right. So next week, please come back. Please tell your friends to come back. Celebrate our 200th with you all. Oh, well, no. Next week I'll tell that story. On Thursday. Okay. On Thursday, we're doing something. I'm doing something really important, bro.
Thursday.
You don't even know.
I like it.
You don't even know.
Oh, you're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. We're gonna be on TV.
Oh, right. Sabres playing 2 hours. So
Taco Tuesday. Let's go.
Exactly. That's where I was, Mighty Taco.
Mother. He not only was late, but he had to feed his face and stranding out here in the desert of animals here.
Yeah, I'm right. I had to get my tacos in, man. I had to get my tacos in.
All right. See you guys next week.
All right. We'll see you guys. Enjoy, be safe, and get out there and make that money.
$3K a week.
No, I don't have that time to sit in my car like that.